What is up? It is your favorite hunting buddy, Dave Had, and we're back for another Wednesday live. You know it's going to happen every single Wednesday. And riding solo again. We're going to do these bad boys solo. Dino was supposed to be on here, but, he's taking another Wednesday off. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. He takes off when he wants to take off. He goes and he does his thing, and he comes back, and he comes back, and he does what he wants, and he does, it is what it is. So, if you guys would, just give me an emoji or some sort of comment in the comments section, because last time I was having a little trouble seeing the comments on my end. I could see them after, but on my end right now, I want to see the comments flowing in and make sure that they are coming in. So if you would, give me a little wave, give me a little fist pump, give me something. Anyway, we are here for another Wednesday live. Your boys at TAGNBRAG, and this ain't your average boar fest. Sit back and watch. We want to entertain a little bit. We want to go through some things. We want to, go through some newsworthy things. We'll tell some stories. We'll do something funny. I don't know. We're going to mix it up a little bit. You know what I mean? We're here to amp up your game with epic fails, pro tips, and everything in between. Tonight, we are hitting the fan favorites. We are going to start, like we do every show, with the hunting headlines, diving into the latest buzz in the hunting industry, and we're going to move on to the fan favorite, Camo Confessionals, and then we're going to do another hunting video review at the end. Should be a pretty good show. Not going to lie, I'm not prepared whatsoever, so we're winging this one just pretty much like we do everything else. But you know what? I shot a turkey this past weekend, so I'm kind of feeling myself a little bit. That's why I got this Michael Waddell edition OG Realtree. I don't know. Call it a cardigan. You want to call it a button-up. Call it a jacket in some states if you want to. I mean, I could tell you what. This thing ain't legal everywhere, but it is on me. I like it. I'm not going to lie. Realtree OG, Realtree Camo. I don't even remember what this pattern was called. This had to be one of the first originals. I guess that would make it an original. But anyway, shot a turkey this weekend, so I'm kind of feeling myself a little bit. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck the preparation for the live. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want this week. So, without further ado, I see a couple comments popping up, but come on, people. Just send me a freaking comment for the love of Betsy. I just want to see some freaking comments. Ryan says, what's up? Thank you, Ryan. People are watching with me. What's up on here from West Virginia? Mountainside Outdoors. Thank you guys for joining in today. Yeah, thank you. That's all I can say. I mean, I don't really love how the chat box is. I'm looking at it on my computer. So, yeah. Peter, if you're watching this, we got to get on that shit, man. We got to be better. And also, they disappear every so often, and I don't want that shit. I want them to stay up there so I can see who is talking to me, so I can answer questions and shit like that while this live is going on. So, hey, man, help us out. Remember? All right. So, let's get back to it. This weekend was sick. Sick fucking weekend. Just take this in for a second. This is my Saturday, okay? Girlfriend's out of town. Dropped the dog off at the dog sitters on Friday night. You know why? Because I'm going down to Atlanta on Saturday. My boy hit me up. He's like, hey, Guardians, a.k.a. Indians, a.k.a. the tribe, will always be the tribe to me. If you're from Cleveland, there ain't anything else. Guardians are just for the birds that get offended over dumb shit everywhere else. But the Indians are honoring Native Americans, and we don't have to get into that right now. The point of it is, my buddy hit me up. He said the tribe was playing in Atlanta. this weekend. I'm like sick. He's like, you want to get tickets? Why wouldn't I? And so I'm by myself Friday night, and I'm scratching my head, sitting there thinking. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, my hunting lease is like 45 minutes on the road down to Atlanta. Why? Why would I not pack my hunting shit, get up early, go down there, listen for a jibby or two? If I hear one, great. If not, I'm already on my way. And then grab a little breakfast along the way and go to fucking Atlanta. Watch it drive. Only real thing that's wrong with that, if there is anything wrong with that, is for the people in the back going, wow, hey, get up at 4 in the morning, man. How you going to make it all the way through the game and then go have fun with your friends? Listen, man, I got energy from my head to my friggin' toes. I can roll all night. Even when I'm tired, just dig deep. It's mental. It's all mental. So, yeah, I packed the truck with all my hunting shit. I got up at 4 in the morning. I headed down to the South Lease. And when I got down there, I'm like, shit, man. Shit. It's all windy. It's windy. I don't like wind when you're turkey hunting. You know why? Because if you got wind when you're turkey hunting, then you can't hear the gobblers, and the gobblers can't hear you. So, I was a little discouraged. But you know what? I'm here. And I'm already on my way to Atlanta, so why wouldn't I stay? So what ended up happening was, about mid-morning, let's go Tribe, let's do it. I love it. Guys, keep the comments rolling in. I can't see them on my screen, so you got to keep comments rolling in every couple minutes, seconds. Give me a fist pump, give me an emoji. I don't care. Just rock with them. Anyway, so about I'd say about 6:20, 6:30, I hear a gobble. Distant gobble, but a gobble nonetheless. So I get up. I'm thinking, what do I do here? What do I do in this scenario? It's still pretty windy. Probably going to have to get a little loud on the call if I want anything to hear me. So I let out a call. Nothing. I got a little louder. He answered. Beautiful. He heard me. So happy in this moment. So happy because when I got out of the truck, I'm not going to lie, I didn't feel like anything was going to happen. Anything. Anyway, I ended up calling this big bastard in. I coaxed him in with the fan. I shot him. My biggest bird ever. 1.5 spurs, 11-inch beard. Thing was so heavy, I couldn't even throw him over my shoulder. Barely. I did, obviously, because why wouldn't I? But I could barely throw him over my shoulder. Anyway, after that, I literally had a little fun. I shot some video. I went to Walmart. I bought a cooler. I bought some ice. I filleted that sucker in the parking lot of a Red Lobster. I cut them up in the parking lot of a Red Lobster. I loaded them up. I got ice. I put them in the cooler. Cooler I got says it will keep ice for 3 days. $45. This cooler says it's keeping ice for 3 days. I'm getting it right away, obviously. Got to keep ice in the cooler so I can keep my birdie cold while I go to the Tribe game in Atlanta. So I did all that. I packed the truck, got a little breakfast on the way, got to Atlanta. Tribe wins in extra innings. Also, anybody who was in Atlanta this weekend rooting on the Tribe, God bless you. If you were and you're a Tribe fan, you know we were there in full force. There's Tribe fans everywhere. They're all still sporting the Chief Wahoo. Nobody's wearing Guardians gear. It's like it never even freaking happened. This makes me so happy. So we watch the game. Tribe wins in extra innings. We go out and have a couple of brewskis after the game, get a late night slice, back on the road to Nashville the next morning. What could have been better? What could have been better? What a weekend. What a freaking weekend. So anyway, that's why I didn't really fully prepare for this live. Either way, we're going to have some fun. we're going to dive right in to the hunting headlines. Here we go. First headline of the day. Check this out. I just saw this earlier this week. Greg Ritz acquires Thompson Center Arms. Greg Ritz, a prominent figure in the outdoor industry, has announced the acquisition of Thompson Center Arms. I didn't realize that old Greg had owned the company prior to this, part owner prior to this, which is very interesting. I knew he was heavily involved, and I knew that he was like sponsored and stuff like that. But this is kind of crazy that he owned it before, sold out, and now he's back. Now he's like the owner. So the article goes on. Greg Ritz brings a wealth of experience and knowledge to this acquisition that has come full circle. As a former owner of Thompson Center Arms, a seasoned media and manufacturing entrepreneur and television host of the top-rated award-winning Huntmasters series on the Outdoor Channel, Ritz has an intimate understanding of the needs and the desires of the outdoor enthusiasts. His vision for Thompson Center Arms is clear: to build upon its rich heritage while introducing new technologies that meet the evolving demands of the market. I'm going to tell you what, that's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Greg Ritz, back in the game, baby. Just, not enough to have your own TV show, but let's just go buy a gun company real quick. Let's just pull the black credit card out, swipe that shit, and buy Thompson Center. I think it's a great idea. The article goes on. This is a quote from Greg Ritz. Thompson Center Arms holds a special place in the hearts of hunters and shooters worldwide, and we are committed to honoring the past while driving innovation and growth. My goodness, David, are your eyes going a little bit faster than expected? With the support of our dedicated team and loyal customers, I am confident that Thompson Center Arms will continue to thrive for years to come. I personally used to love the old TC. I still got one. My muzzleloader's a Thompson Center Triumph. That bad boy, removable breech, easy to clean. Hate shooting a muzzleloader. Hate it. Just hate shooting a muzzleloader. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't like it. I'm not going to like it. But I'm more of a bow guy. Either way, Thompson Center, they got rifles. They got shotguns. I mean, really cool to see Greg get back into the game. You kind of saw Thompson Center, if you were paying attention at all, fall off over the years. And I don't even know how many years that's been. 4 or 5 years, 6 years. But back in the day when, like, Shockey was repping them, I know the Drurys were repping them. I think Lee and Tiffany were like, if you weren't shooting a Thompson Center muzzleloader, you weren't that cool. You just weren't. So this is cool. Gets him back in the game. Greg Ritz, man. I mean, straight killing it. Just straight killing it. God bless. When you can buy a gun company like that, God bless. All right. Next story, please. A drunk man kicks a Yellowstone bison, hurts himself, and then gets arrested. Well, sounds like a shitty day, but he had it coming. Clarence Yoder of Idaho Falls wasn't the only one to face charges. The woman driving the vehicle, McKenna Bass, was also arrested for a DUI and disturbing wildlife. That's a rough day for the couple. Turon season is off to a rip-roaring start at Yellowstone National Park, thanks to a pair of Idaho Falls residents who were arrested on April 21st for drunkenly harassing a herd of bison. First of all, I mean, come on, people. Like, what does it matter with you? You know? Why don't you just get drunk and have fun by yourself? Or do it with somebody else, but why do you got to harass animals and shit? You had this coming. I'm surprised you didn't get more hurt, to be honest. You're a dumbass. What else does it say? Reportedly approached a herd of bison, kicked one in the leg, which unsurprisingly resulted in an injury that prompted Yoder to seek treatment at a nearby medical facility. Good. The bastard deserves it. After park rangers transported him for treatment, Yoder was charged with being under the influence of alcohol to the point of endangering oneself, disorderly conduct, approaching wildlife, and disturbing wildlife. McKenna Bass, 37, was arrested as a part of the incident for driving under the influence, failing to yield to an emergency vehicle, and wildlife harassment. She was driving Yoder around at the time. Sounds like one hell of a Saturday night. Well, these idiots, I guess they had what is coming. I don't know why Outdoor Life is covering this story, to be honest. Seems a little perplexed to me. Why don't we cover something a little bit more positive? And also, yeah, like this is kind of like a hunting. It's a hunting magazine. I don't know. It's a weird article, but moving on. Fucking idiots. All right, outdoor news. Let's see what we got here. Cold, wet weather does not dampen the turkey hunting as Minnesotans blow past a harvest record. Really? It's probably a bad time for a tom turkey. It is neck out, no matter. Okay. So the spring turkey season in Minnesota is just 2 weeks old, but the DNR reported a record-setting pace of harvest following the mid-2023-2024, the mild 2023-2024 winter. Nick Huck, the DNR resident game bird specialist, said the first week of spring hunting season A, saw a harvest record of 7,041 turkeys, according to preliminary reports. That tops a previous first season record from 2020 with 5,827 turkeys. So eclipsed that by about 1,200 turkeys from the previous record set in 2020. Well, that's interesting. I mean, it seems like we are seeing record harvests or extremely high harvest rates in a lot of different states. I know Tennessee was one. I think we talked about Missouri just in youth season being one of them on one of the other lives that we did. And now Minnesota. I mean, I've heard a lot of birds going down in Tennessee. I'm not really sure about Ohio as much, which opened up this past weekend in the northern zone, and New York opened up today. So I'm not really sure, but it seems like record harvest, which I like. Is that good or is it not that good? Like, does that mean that obviously it means the turkey population is clearly thriving or doing far better. But now does that mean, like, does the record-setting harvest, does that mean that it depletes the turkey population a little bit moving forward? What do you think? What do you guys think? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I mean, it's not a bad, obviously, for hunters, not a bad thing. You know, fill tags. PHIL tags. Fill up. And we're filling them. That's not a bad thing. But for the turkey, is it? Especially, like, I know a lot of seasons have been moved back over the past couple years. Tennessee season has been moved back in date, and the starting time of the season. Ohio season has been moved back, both southern and northern zones. I think Kentucky season got moved back a little bit. And I believe New Jersey. And those are just kind of the ones that are off the top of my head. But you wonder if those seasons getting moved back a little bit, if the turkey population had a chance to rebound. Because I know, like, back probably not that long ago, 5 years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago, whatever, in New York, on our property in New York, we couldn't buy a damn turkey. Like, they just weren't around anymore. And over the last 5 or 6 years, they've come back drastically. Now, where we hunt in Ohio, that is completely changed, where the turkeys are not thriving very much anymore at all in Ohio, and they were, 5 or 6 years ago. So, I don't know. I don't know what that means. But another record-setting turkey harvest, and we as a team are doing well in the turkey woods, so that makes sense. It really does. It makes sense. All right, one more. Illinois DNR announces the detection of chronic wasting disease in Ford County. Ford County. Bunch of baiters, I bet. Bunch of salt-licking baiters in that county. That's why it's spreading. All right, chronic wasting disease has been detected in Ford County, expanding the geographic presence of the infection in free-ranging deer populations in northern Illinois, the DNR announced today. Chronic wasting disease, commonly referred to as CWD, is an always fatal neurological disease that threatens the long-term health of the white-tailed deer in Illinois. Hold on a second. Is that a little drastic? I don't know. Is that a little drastic? Like, threatens the whole herd in all of Illinois? And why is it going to stop just in Illinois? Like, those deer don't go across state lines? Just first documented in Illinois in 2002 near Roscoe, CWD has been detected in 21 counties across the northern edge of the northeastern portion of Illinois, as far south as Kankakee and Livingston counties. CWD was detected and confirmed through diagnostic testing in Ford County in mid-March from a suspected deer exhibiting symptoms consistent with CWD infection. Other recent cases of CWD documented previously in the Bureau of Lee County during 2023 and 2022. Okay. CWD was detected and confirmed through diagnostic testing. No idea what that means. Diagnostic testing. In mid-March from a suspect deer exhibiting symptoms consistent with CWD. Was the deer dead or alive? If it was alive, you had to shoot it, and then you found the CWD in it? So is it an always fatal? I don't know. I feel like this is a little contradicting. I don't really fully understand the whole CWD thing and the threat of it all. But I feel like this is just kind of another, like, Illinois DNR announces detection of chronic wasting disease in Ford County. Okay. Moving on. Oh, that's our Camo confessional. All right, you guys. So that's the news wrapped up in a nutshell. I don't know. Kind of boring if you ask me. But it's one of them weeks. Honestly, the thing I liked the most was the Greg Ritz thing. Greg Ritz. He bought friggin' Thompson Center. That's sick. That is sick, Greg. Good job. All right. Segment number 2. Camo Confessionals. Let's fuck with it. We're going to feature stories and memorable experiences submitted by viewers highlighting the lighter side of hunting and the outdoor lifestyle. All right, this one is brought to us by, it's anonymous. we're not going to tell yous. Why would we tell you that? Told you guys we were leaving this anonymous. We're doing the Camo confessionals now. You guys can share the live, okay? You guys can share it. All right. This one comes in from a hunter off of Instagram. He says it was youth season back in 2009. Okay, so this one dates about 15 years. I was 16 at the time. My birthday always fell after Ohio's youth season, so I was pert near 17. I was pert near 17. But we had been hunting all day, and I have some health issues. So I knew I needed to take my meds in order to be able to hunt that evening. But I got cocky because I was feeling good. And so we just headed back out to the woods. We walked about a mile back into this back area of what always ends up being a hayfield in the summertime. And we sat down, and I heard a noise. One of those, your body needs to have a clearance sale, and everything must go now noises. So I find myself a log. And not 2 minutes after I get settled in to a particular activity, 3 jakes started beelining it right towards the decoys. Thankfully, I was smart enough to bring a gun. Thankfully, I was smart enough to bring a gun with me and kick. What the fuck? Oh, and these birds ended up getting 30 yards from me. So I shot one, and the kick caused for a less than desirable outcome. Got the bird, but we'll just say I wasn't allowed in the truck on the way home. And Dad didn't know there was turkeys coming because I was a ways back, so I pretty much scared the shit out of him as well. He asked me if I had any of that TP left, and I think I've got to change my drawers now. But when he looked for me, all he found was a log with legs sticking over it because I still hadn't gotten my composure and out of my situation. So that's how the full deal went down. It's something I will never forget, unfortunately. Well, all I can say is, you hunt long enough in the woods. You spend long enough time in the woods. And eventually, you're going to have to poop in the woods. So, you're subject to scenarios similar to this. Now, I think old boy needed to be a little bit more careful. I don't know if I'm ripping shots at any turkey while I'm doing the business. Dropping kids off at the poo. I don't know that I'm shooting something while I'm carrying out that activity. But hey, times are tough. I know groceries are expensive nowadays, and you got to do what you got to do. And so I, hopefully you got a decent shower when you got home. You can clean yourself up a little bit, and everything's going to be all good. Everything's going to be all good. But that is quite the situation. I wouldn't wish that really upon anyone. And, but like I said, once, you're in this game long enough and you got to do it. One time, I remember back when I was a young boy, probably 15, 16 years old. And we're in the middle of doing a man drive. And we always save the man drives that were better for later in the day. We would kind of try and push the areas around it and just kind of try and create like a cereal bowl full of deer for the last push of the day. So it was one of those pushes, man drives. And I'm a poster, so I'm supposed to be the one that's waiting for the deer coming to me. I'm I'm the cutlet provider, so to speak. Well, I mean, push came to shove, and it was time. It just was. So I had to leave my gun to the side, and I had to find a good log with a nice hold on the front side, so you don't want to drop. You don't want to ever have the opportunity to drop back. For any reason, whether it's a recoil of a gun or anything, you don't want to drop. You don't have any reason to drop back. So I grabbed on, did my business, got it cleaned up, and I'm not gonna lie, a couple deer ran by during that time, and people knew it too because there was snow on the ground and the fresh tracks and the guys that were pushing. People knew it. That's what it is. You win some, you lose some, but you're in those. You hunt long enough, and you're just not going to have a choice. You're not going to have a choice. All right, guys. Tomorrow, I've got the hunt for my bird coming out tomorrow night. We got Uncle Jay's coming out this weekend. And they're good. They're going to be good. Completely off the wall, unconventional turkey hunt. But let's just go through one of the last turkey hunts that I had prior to the carnage. This property that I hunt down in Tennessee is a turkey mecca. It is insane. It is insane. All right. So let's get back there. Come on. This is my setup. I love this setup. Self-filming is hard enough as it is during turkey season. But this setup helps a lot because I'm back under these cedars, way under these shadows. Excuse me. No, you hear them? Why is this like this? This shit is weird. He was too. He was right there. We're going to fast forward through this a little bit. So I had an insane hunt like 3 days in a row where I called these birds in right to this fence behind me, and they would not hop over the fence at all. It was brutal. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to show you guys a small clip from the hunt that I had on Saturday. You can find this on our Facebook page if you have not seen it already. But, whoa! Loud. Super loud. Oh my God. All right. We're going to watch it again. Don't worry. How nuts is that, you guys? Look at how close this turkey was. So I called him in from up in front of this barn, and you could see the tail fan out in the grass, or like at the edge of the field right there. I had I was literally stretching my arm out trying to fan this thing in, and hold on a second. This is ridiculous. He literally came right to me. Oh my gosh. And literally was strutting what felt like 6 feet from me. Hold on a second. Trying to get this so you guys can see it a little bit better. What is happening? Oh my God. Holy shit. What on earth is happening? This is crazy. Look at this bird. Oh my God. I'm right there. It's right there. Freaking insane. Insane. Anyway, I got to get this thing to... Finally. Anyway, you guys, thank you guys for following along on this week's live. It has been fantastic to hang out. We will have a hunt breakdown next week of the actual hunt from last Saturday. Also, Uncle Jay's hunt from last Saturday, which is going to be amazing as well. Unconventional, more of a spot and stalk style turkey hunt as well. So we'll look forward to that, guys. That's a wrap. Tag and Brag Nation, thanks for joining us again on this wild journey tonight. Remember, the stories we share are just the beginning. The great outdoors is a never-ending adventure waiting for your footprints. Can't wait to see you guys next time. We'll dive into more. As I said, we will have those two hunts to go over, and we'll have some more hunting headlines, some more camo confessionals. Send us a DM with your camo confessionals. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, stay wild, stay free, and remember, Tag and Brag Nation, every day is an opportunity to make your mark. See you in the great outdoors.